Hello, and thank you for tuning into AI Storytime. Sit back and enjoy, Jack and Snow. A hunter named Jack lived deep in the heart of the jungle. He was a skilled tracker and a brave warrior, feared by all the animals of the jungle for his quick reflexes and deadly aim. One day, Jack was out hunting for food when he stumbled upon a small white tiger cub. The cub was injured and alone in the jungle. The cub was covered in mud and dirt, and it was shivering from the cold. Jack knew he had to do something to save it. He brought the cub back to his camp and cared for it, nursing it back to health. As the cub grew stronger, Jack began to train it to be his lifelong companion. As he looked at the white fur of the cub, he was reminded of the snow that sometimes fell in the mountains. The cub was a rare and beautiful sight, and Jack knew it deserved a special name. He named the cub Snow, in honor of its white fur and the adventures they would have together in the snowy peaks of the mountains. From that day on, Snow was by Jack's side, his faithful and loyal companion. Together, they roamed the land, hunting and exploring the wilderness. One day, in the heart of the jungle, they were tracking a group of thieves who had stolen valuable jewels from a nearby village. The thieves were a cunning and ruthless bunch, and they had eluded capture for months. But Jack and Snow were determined to bring them to justice, and they followed their trail deep into the jungle. The going was tough, as the dense foliage and sweltering heat made it nearly impossible to track the thieves. But Jack was a skilled tracker, and with Snow by his side, they were able to pick up the thieves' trail. As they drew closer to the thieves' hideout, they knew they were getting closer to danger. They could hear the thieves moving about, and knew they had to be careful. Finally, they reached the thieves' hideout, a small clearing in the jungle. Jack and Snow could see the thieves roaming around camp. They had to act quickly while they had the element of surprise. Jack signaled to Snow, and the two of them charged into the clearing, weapons drawn. The thieves were caught off guard, and they fled in all directions. But Jack and Snow were too fast for them to escape. Jack took down two of the thieves with his bow, while Snow pounced on a third, taking him down with a single powerful swipe of her paw. The remaining thieves were quickly captured, and the jewels were returned to the village. Jack and Snow were hailed as heroes, and they returned to their camp proud of the danger they had faced and the justice they had served. Over time, Snow grew into a powerful and majestic beast. Jack was proud of the bond they shared, and he knew that no one could ever come between them. They were inseparable, and their adventures took them all across the land, from the snowy peaks of the mountains to the lush valleys below. Despite the many dangers they faced, Jack and Snow always managed to emerge victorious. They were a formidable team, and their bond only grew stronger with each passing day. As the years went by, Jack and Snow became legends in the jungle. They were known far and wide as the hunter and his white tiger companion, and their adventures were told and retold by the people of the land. And though they faced many challenges, they remained steadfast in their friendship, always there for each other, through thick and thin. Unbeknownst to them, their toughest adventure was going to happen in the mountains today of all days, their 10-year anniversary. They had been tracking a group of poachers for weeks. These poachers had been killing rare and endangered animals. The foe was armed and dangerous. Jack knew they would be formidable. As they made their way up the mountain, the air grew colder and the going grew tougher. But Jack and Snow were determined to stop the poachers, and they pressed on, undaunted. Finally, they caught sight of the poachers' camp. It was a small clearing in the trees, and the poachers were busy preparing for another hunt. "We have to stop them, Snow," said Jack, his voice filled with determination. "We can't let them kill any more innocent animals." Snow nodded her agreement, and the two of them made their way stealthily toward the camp. They could now overhear the poachers nearby. "I can't believe we've been at this for so long," one of the poachers grumbled. "We must have covered every inch of these damn mountains by now." "Quit your complaining, Jerry," another poacher chided. "You knew what you were getting into when you signed up for this job. Yeah, but I didn't expect it to be this hard or this damn hot, Jerry replied. I thought we'd have at least got something by now and be headed back to town. What I would give to be with a woman right now instead of your smelly asses. Well, if you're not up for the challenge, you can always turn back, the other poacher teased. Shut up, Mike, Jerry said, rolling his eyes. I'm not going anywhere, you're not getting my cut. That's the spirit, Mike replied with a grin. We'll find something soon enough. And when we do, we'll have enough coin to live off for years. The group chuckled at the thought, as they continued their bickering and bantering. The poachers knew that what they were doing was illegal, but the thrill of the hunt and the promise of a big payday kept them going. Creeping through the underbrush, Jack signaled to Snow, and the two of them moved silently down the slope, trying to get as close as possible before they were spotted. Suddenly, one of the poachers looked up and caught sight of Jack and Snow. What the hell do you think you're doing? One of the poachers growled, raising his rifle. I'm here to stop you, Jack replied, drawing his bow. The poacher shouted a warning to the others, and the group of poachers grabbed their guns and turned to face their attackers. A fierce battle ensued, with Jack and Snow fighting bravely against the poachers. A shot rang out, and Snow let out a yelp of pain. Jack turned to see that the white tiger had been hit in the shoulder, the bullet just missing her vital organs. Snow, Jack shouted, rushing to her side. But Snow was a fighter, and she shook off the injury and sprang back into action. With a snarl, she lunged at the nearest poacher, bringing him down with all her weight. The rest of the poachers scattered, firing wildly as they tried to take out the white tiger. Jack took cover behind a tree and began picking them off one by one, his aim steady and true. Snow prowled through the thick brush, keeping out of sight and striking lonely poachers with the cover of gunshots. In the end, most of the poachers were captured and tied up, to be brought back to camp for their crimes. One of the poachers managed to escape, but two others were killed in the altercation. Jack himself had been hit several times, but he had come out victorious thanks to his training. As the sun set over the mountains, Jack looked at Snow, her wounds serious as she fell to the ground. Jack knew they had to get Snow to safety. Leaving the poachers tied up, he grabbed her in his arms and ran as fast as he could down the mountain. Hold on, Snow, he said, his voice filled with concern. We'll get you some help. You're going to be okay. Despite her injury, Snow managed to nod her head, letting Jack know that she was still with him. As they made their way back to civilization, Jack knew he had to get Snow to a veterinarian as soon as possible. He pushed on, determined to save his beloved companion. Finally, they reached a small town, and Jack rushed Snow to the veterinarian's office. The veterinarian was able to patch up Snow's wound, and after a few weeks of rest, she was back to her old self again. I'm glad you're okay, Snow, said Jack, giving her a hug. I don't know what I would do without you. Snow nuzzled against Jack, letting him know that she felt the same way. Jack and Snow continued their adventures, saving animals and bringing criminals to justice for many years, their bond growing stronger each day. They passed their skills down to the next generation of hunters and are remembered as two of the greatest hunters the world has ever known. The end. Hope you enjoyed.